Hello, everyone. It's time to eat, drink, and be merry with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio. We love to eat, drink, and be merry on this show. And we like to do it also where it's got a little health added to it. A little health benefit goes a long way. So every first Saturday, we welcome back travel, food, and wine writer Linda Kazam. She's known as a food, wine, and shopping diva. Now, she could be shopping at the Christmas markets on a Viking River cruise in Europe, or she could be on her boat somewhere in the Pacific Northwest finding really cool specialty items in boutiques and gift shops or art galleries. But she also knows her way around a grocery store, I do believe. She knows about buying good produce. And so today she's welcomed back Robert Schuler. He is the produce expert at Melissa's Specialty Produce. And we love him. He was on our show last spring. He's here again this spring to talk about what we can look for, what are some of the more popular trends in regards to produce and delicious snacks. Okay, we're going to get into the snacks too. So, everyone, Melissa's.com. I swear I'm already drooling. I just think of those chickpeas and I start. I can't help it. Melissa's.com is the website, and keep up with Diva Linda at allingoodtaste.info. So welcome back, Diva Linda. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. As you can see in the background, I got a lovely picture of Melissa's products in my local grocery store. And it was in AJ's, if anybody in Arizona.
Oh, she does know how to shop when you go to AJ's. Oh, yes. It's like going to Gorman's. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is. Yes. Wonderful. So anyway, they have all those things, and we got to taste a bunch of new things that Robert sent us. And I'm going to be interested if he can tell me what fell off the list from 2022.
Oh, you are such a diva.
And what replaced it. It's like a little quiz. We'll see. Maybe he can't, but I see a lot of familiar stuff. And I think you loved the chickpeas that he sent for us to sample. I loved them. I thought they were just unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you and I have that same palette of, we want that spice, and we want that citrus and that little bit of, just that. And I think that the chickpeas themselves have that little bit of balancing off with the little sweetness of their natural. Oh, stop it. I'm drooling on air. This is terrible.
And the wonderful jalapeno relish. If you ever see Melissa's jalapeno relish, you have to try it. It's
I wonder if we could put it on the side of a margarita.
Ooh. Well, I was having it last night with margaritas, so you can do pretty much anything you want. I mean, it's pretty darn good. In fact, everything you sent us was really good. I mean, Melissa's has such wonderful, interesting stuff. Now, Robert, I heard about a new one. Do you know what blue bananas are? They're supposed to taste like ice cream. Have you ever heard about those?
Yes, actually, the technical name. Thank you for having me on, Lisa and Linda, today.
It's good to have you back. Sorry,
I can't believe it's already been a year.
I know, but we get excited about all this food, so sorry about that. It take you 10 years to get back on the show.
So, Linda, the blue banana that you're referring to is in fact called ice cream banana. It was a banana. It's a specialty banana. There's hundreds of different varieties of bananas, but America is really familiar with the common banana, which is called Cavendish, plantains, burros, manzanos, and reds. Those are the common 5. However, there are these specialty bananas. You can go online and even Google this. Ice cream banana. The reason why it's given its name is not because it grows bluish, but because that's exactly what it tastes like kind of a vanilla ice cream. They actually used to grow them. There are some small growing areas in Southern California, up in the Santa Barbara area. But a lot of those plants got destroyed because of mudslides that had happened about a decade ago. So really the only places that actually grow them now that I know of is there's some in Florida, but there's a lot in Hawaii as well. But you just really need if you grow bananas at home, whether it's hothouse or you have like a tropical planetarium type, growing situation, which allows for a lot of water and humidity, you'll be able to grow them at home.
This is interesting to me because you always bring something I don't know what to do with, and then we go on the Google mission, and we go on melissas.com because you have good recipes and you really do guide us on this. This time it was the Kiwano melon. Last time I got into dragon fruit, and by the way, I can't shake the dragon fruit thing either. In fact, that again, margaritas, martinis with dragon fruit. But this melon, tell us about it, because I know it comes from Africa, but I don't remember it in South Africa too much. I don't know if it's new, what part of Africa it comes from, but it's refreshing. It's like something you could use to clear your palate, actually. It's nice.
Well, thank you. Well, as you know, Melissa's is the largest variety supplier of produce in the United States. We have a product line of over 1,500 different items. So there's not a produce item we don't do. You're talking about the Kiwano melon. The Kiwano melon is number 10 on our top 10 specialty produce items here in the United States. It looks like a spiny, bright orange, almost yellowish, prickly, oval fruit. Believe it or not,
there it is. You can see it behind me.
Believe it or not, it is actually in the cucumber family. So the way you enjoy it is you cut this bright orange fruit open, and inside are bright green seeds. The seeds and everything in the pulp on the inside is what you eat. So whatever you're cooking with or using it in a fruit salad, in a smoothie, it's going to have bright green seeds, and it's going to allow for green color in a fruit dish. It's actually one of those fruits that when you watch TV or a movie, there always seems to be, a scene where that you're in the kitchen. I notice there's always a bowl of fruit in a kitchen, and I always see a Kiwano melon in there. So it's a very TV movie type fruit because it's so strange and unusual. It doesn't have a lot of sweetness. It is very mild. And believe it or not, if you pickle it, just like you do any other cucumber, it makes the best pickle.
Oh, okay. Well, now you talked about, Linda, we want the pickle. Oh, then we could batter them and fry them.
Yum.
If you go to our website at melissas.com, click in Kiwano. Another name is horned melon, and you'll come up with a dozen different recipes on what to do with these Kiwano melons.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Now, the potatoes, Nancy got very excited when she saw your baby russets. Well, because the potatoes, there's so much flavor in all the different baby potatoes that you have. And I love the gemstone ones. That's my personal, but Nancy's like, they have russets. Okay, this is so cool. And so, she likes to roast them, and she knows, like, if we have to eat like something hearty for breakfast, then she's really good about bringing out those potatoes and roasting them with garlic and onion, salt and pepper. And then maybe, you add a little bacon or some sausage to that roasting mix. I'm just saying. And then remember that hollandaise sauce too that we talked about last year? Now, if you're in a fly, add a little bit of that hollandaise sauce, maybe a poached egg, and you can soak up all the yolk with, I'm just saying, I'm hungry now. I want breakfast again.
Yes, Lisa, you guys are talking about one of our newest items. It's called Melissa's Baby Baker Russet Potatoes. These are russet potatoes that are really small. They're small like a baby potato that Melissa's is really known for. So the ease of these potatoes is it has a very short cooking time, unlike a regular potato, which is about the size of your fist. That takes like 40 minutes in the oven. It takes a long time, very starchy. Now, potatoes are the most popular vegetable, as are bananas are the most popular fruits here in the United States. And you touched upon our baby potatoes, which we're really known for. In fact, the three top specialty produce items in 2002 and will trend through 2023 are our little gold Dutch yellow potatoes. Those are the potatoes which are our signature item that we're most known for. You'll find that product in most stores across the country. A lot of people think that they're baby Yukon Gold potatoes. They're not Yukon Gold potatoes. They're a little bit different. They're smaller. They have a yellow skin on the outside, a yellow flesh on the inside. Really short cooking time because on all baby potatoes, the skin is completely edible. You don't have to skin them. And they're the only potato that don't turn green. If you've ever had baby potatoes on your counter for a long time, because of either the natural sunlight or the fluorescent lighting in your kitchen, over time, they'll start to green on the outside of the skin, making them no longer edible or safe to eat. However, you don't have to worry about our Dutch yellow potatoes because they never green on the outside. So they're an item that whether you're a person who likes potatoes every other day or likes them once or twice during the month, Dutch yellow potatoes will just have a great shelf life, no matter if you have them daily or weekly. So look for those, but also Melissa's red potatoes, baby potatoes are extremely popular as number 2. Dutch yellow potatoes were number 1. Baby potatoes, red potatoes are number 2. We also have Dutch red baby potatoes, and those have been trending as well. And number 3, you mentioned this, Linda, you love the gemstone potatoes. The gemstone potatoes is a mixture of all the different varieties. So you get a very colorful plate presentation because you have gold potatoes, white potatoes, red potatoes, and baby purple potatoes all in one. And this, using color on your plate, Lisa and Linda, it allows your kids to be more excited about what's on their plate. And a lot of parents have been doing that because of the many varieties of fruits and vegetables out there to serve to your family. And adding color like that adds not only different nutrients because of their color, but also get your kids to eat more produce. So yes, baby potatoes are extremely popular in 2022, and they'll be even more popular in 2023.
I think that they're really cool and easy to make for potato salads. Like when you go to a picnic, you don't always have to even use mayonnaise for it, really. Everybody's got their different thing, but you don't have to have this a long time of boiling and making your kitchen hot. Linda's in the desert. You don't want it hot in your kitchen. You don't want to be boiling things for 10 years.
No, what I found is 2 things. Number 1, these little baby potatoes are excellent for portion control. You get this big burst of flavor from a tiny little vegetable. They're wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful for that. Second thing is I find that if I'm in a bind on dinner and I need potatoes are part of that dinner that I'm going to plate up, I could take the baby potatoes, put them in the microwave for a few minutes, take them back out, and then fry them or roast them or do whatever. And it's like quick. It's like, 10 minutes or something, if that. And anyway, that's a really good way to manage your dinner time needs. And I think they're wonderful.
And good if you have company over and you want to look, here's not your big bowl of mashed potato, that you've been mashing for 10 years, or that stuff. Don't do that other stuff. Not good for you. No. But if you do bring out those colors, even if you're just doing the red ones or the yellow, there's just this extra sense of, oh, this is special. That's why it's specialty produce. We all want the specials, really. We don't want the boring and the bland. We want something special, and especially with the babies, you don't have to skin the babies. We don't want to skin babies. We don't want to cut the babies too much, but you can just cut them in half, or even leave them whole and let whoever's eating them do their own cutting. But it's just, I don't know, it's easier, and the presentation to me, maybe I am a kid, Robert, and that's why I want to eat all my colors, but the horned melon has got to be cool for kids too. That's like, curious, like what's in there, And then you find out all these healthy properties from this one melon, antioxidants, all the vitamins. I mean, come on, we're eating healthy with this produce, I think. So that's,
Definitely, most definitely.
I want
And
to
I
bring
wanna
up
talk-
the baby beets. Okay, go ahead, Linda, you go first. You're the diva.
That's what I was going to bring up is the baby beets. The baby beets are my husband's absolute favorite. So whenever I bring those home or Robert ships us some, it really brings a smile to his place. And it's so, not his plate, but his face. They're so easy. They're firm, number one. They're not squishy, they're firm. And they will last a really long time, which is nice. And you can cut them easily, and it makes the salad look beautiful, or just as a side dish. They're quite wonderful. You can see the things behind me that come in little packets, pre-prepared packets. I mean, there must be, well, I couldn't shoot the whole thing. My camera wasn't wide enough, but how many boxed items do you have? There must be 20, Robert?
There just over a dozen. So Linda, you're speaking about our steamed line of vegetables, specifically one of our most popular ones. It switches every year, is the baby red steamed beets. This is an item that saves the regular consumer about 30-40 minutes of time, because the beets are already peeled, steamed, and literally ready to eat out of the package. The most popular ones are the red ones. We also have them in gold as well. Now, you're thinking, well, how's this different from a canned beet? Canned beets have a lot of preservative. They're forever shelf life. There's no texture, and they taste like vinegar. These are steamed and cryovac. It's the packaging technology allows for this whole line of steamed vegetables to make the consumer not only save time in the kitchen, but also have, especially, when you get home from work at 5 and you want to put something together nice and add color and flavor, but you don't have all the time. So that's where these steamed beets are becoming so popular. But another item within our top 10, like the steamed beets, is our steamed lentils. These lentils are already cooked and ready to go in the package. Basically, you just have to open them up. You can put them into a salad cold, or you can just heat them up just a little bit to keep them warm. In that whole line, Linda and Lisa, there's other steamed items I'm going to tell you about. We do steamed favas. We steamed black-eyed peas, especially for New Year's. We do steamed artichoke hearts. We do steamed chickpeas, which are ready to go. You can make a simple hummus. You just need a few other ingredients, but the peas are already soaked and literally ready to go out of the package. We do steamed chestnuts. We do steamed 6-bean medley. We do steamed butternut squash.
Oh my gosh, everyone take notes for Thanksgiving right now, because I'm just saying, well, I want to go back to this, and part of the reason it's not like canned too is so you're going to find this in the refrigerated aisles of the produce.
Correct.
So it's refrigerated, so there is expiration dates, but there's an earthy quality that you have for these products, which you don't lose. And I mean, I remember the first time I played with beets and Nancy about had a stroke in the kitchen. It looked like a murder scene.
Beets are a little messy. True. That is correct.
Yeah,
if you're working with raw beets, every chef and home cook knows it takes a lot of time, and you have to wear a black apron because it will totally ruin and tie-dye a white apron when working with raw beets. However, we make it easy so you don't have to do that. The beets are baby, they're small, they're peeled, they're steamed. You can pop them into a salad really fast. You can throw them into smoothie. You can heat them up with some other roasted vegetables very much at the end because they're already cooked and ready to go. So they're very versatile and saves consumers a lot of money. You'll find these steamed beets and steamed lentils in most produce departments in the refrigerated sections across the country. That's how popular they are.
Well, I wanted to go to the ginger. Nancy's all into the ginger, and we both need it. because we have those seasonal colds. No, we do not have COVID. I have to always say this, but you know, we both have a little bit of a cough and all of that. And it's one of the very first remedies as a kid was we lived in Kenya and ginger grew like outside our door. And ginger, you just cut it up, you peel it, cut it up, and make a tea out of it. Put some honey. You can put in cayenne pepper if you want for a little kick. A little bit of lemon, and I'm going to tell you, it'll open up your chest. You can breathe. It's really good for seasonal allergies. Spring is coming up, and that's why I was excited about the beets and the lentils, because we go into those salads, and you know the beets, the lentils, adding those little touches to a salad are so quick. It's quick and easy. The lentils have so much protein, but then I feel the same way about this ginger. It's kind of like a medicinal cabinet that you can have in your freezer. Bring it out. You can add it to so many dishes, stir fries and curries, and you can bake with it even, you know. So because you send us a lot, we got a lot of this ginger, and we're like, ooh, let's go to town. And so thank you, because it's part of my healing. And I needed it.
Well, great. Yes, ginger root has always been one of Melissa's popular items and what we're most known for here in the United States. At number 5 as the most popular specialty produce item, first of all, ginger is a cross-cultural root. I consider it more of an herb because a little goes a long way. It's not like another root like potato where you eat it whole. A little bit gives a lot of flavor. Yes, you're right. It can be used in various dishes. And Lisa, you brought up a good point. Ginger has almost a forever shelf life if you store it in the freezer. So when you store it in the freezer, you don't have to worry about it going bad. If you put it in the refrigerator, it will last about a month or two. If you keep it out on your counter, it will last about a week. But if you keep it in the freezer, all you need to do is when you take it out of the freezer, use a spoon to take off the skin, cut off what you need, chop and use in whatever you're doing, whether it's a drink like tea or whether you're cutting a little bit, you know, you use it just like you use garlic in a dish. And garlic is a global herb as well, just as ginger. But ginger has so many health qualities to it. Did you know that ginger ale is the #1 consumed beverage when you're taking a flight, because it helps your immune system, and it also helps from motion sickness as well. So the ginger is not only a tasty thing, but also the medicinal parts of ginger and how it's used in multiple foods and drinks is invaluable as an invaluable ingredient to use in recipes.
It's used for nausea a lot, ginger ale.
Yes.
And really, I grew up on it, like I was saying, in Kenya, and ginger beer, which is it's like root beer but made with ginger, I grew up on that, and it was just it is the most delicious thing. And we just recently interviewed a brewery from Asheville called Ginger's Revenge, and they've brought ginger, and I'm just like, we got the ginger, I'm going to make beer. No, but they make hard ginger beer as well as soft. And they said that ginger is becoming a huge deal for them because they make mocktails. With everybody doing mocktails now, that's what I was thinking. Ginger just adds that little spark to whatever kind of mocktail or cocktail. I'm in the cocktail arena. That little thing. But we used to, I don't know if this is an African thing, but then I remember eating as a kid like different root vegetables, and of course beans and legumes are really huge in Africa, but ginger was put in there. Like actual chunks of ginger would be in like with, I can't quite say it was like mashed potatoes, but you could have like pieces of potato with a little piece of cooked ginger in there. I did not get sick as a kid in Africa, and I think it's because ginger and all these fresh, like this kind of produce was a way of life, you know. And so remind me to go to the desert next time for winter. That's all I'm saying. I'll be a lot healthier too. I don't know, but breathing wise, because I've always been like a sick kid that way. But ginger was, I think it had a huge role in good health, really, for so many things. So I'm excited about digging in, and Nancy's doing a whole bunch right now. That's what she's doing. She's playing ginger. Do you use it for roasts with meat? Have you done that ever?
You definitely can. It's used in a lot of stir fries that are used with meat and pork and whatnot. This is the one thing I know you guys all can agree on. Ginger changes the flavor profile of whatever you put it in.
Yeah.
You know, it is a strong herb, though it's a root. And again, a little goes a long way.
That's amazing. It's on your top. It's number 5. I mean, that means people are doing a lot of fusion cooking too, I think. That's also
juicing, smoothies.
Okay, yeah, juicing.
It's used in desserts. I mean, there's not something that you can't use it in to infuse such a unique flavor that only ginger provides.
How's the dragon fruit doing? Because you got me hooked on that now.
Yes, dragon fruit, believe it or not, is the #1 tropical fruit. Well, if you consider bananas a tropical fruit, which it is, but people sees that as a very common fruit now, even though it is imported into the United States. Now, dragon fruit, there's 3 different varieties. The most popular is the white dragon fruit. The dragon fruit is this beautiful pink colored fruit. You cut it open and there's 2 flesh colors. And you'll know this because only the label will say white dragon fruit or red dragon fruit. The white dragon fruit, you cut it open, whitish color, little black seeds. Seeds completely edible. You don't even know that they're there. You know, it's like a banana. You know, banana contains 100 or 1,000 seeds. You don't even know they're there. You don't taste the seeds. The red dragon fruit, you cut it open. It's a reddish, purplish, pinkish, a fuchsia color on the inside. Very similar to what it looks like on the outside. Again, that sticker will say red dragon fruit. And then there's the third dragon fruit. It's completely yellow on the outside. And those have been very popular as well. As I was saying, the white dragon fruit, it is number 4 specialty here in the United States. It is the #1 specialty tropical fruit in the United States. I don't think you can go into a produce department without finding it. It is such a unique fruit. Believe it or not, Lisa and Linda, if you didn't know, it's actually a fruit of a cactus. This fruit is extremely popular in Southeast Asia, especially like Vietnam, Thailand, that area there. And then it's grown also throughout down from Central America to South America, where they refer to it as pitaya, which translates to fruit of a cactus. And the white flesh variety, wow, it's easy to just cut in half. You actually peel it back and you have this huge ball of fruit, which you can cut up into cubes and use it in like a fruit salad. You can put it into a smoothie. It adds a lot of flavor profile. However, I want to let you know that the white dragon fruit has a very mild melon flavor to it. The red dragon fruit, it's a little bit sweeter, adds a lot more color, and it's a little bit sweeter. But of the 3 dragon fruit that I was referring to, look for the yellow one. Yellow on the outside. When you cut it open, it's white with black seeds as well. That one is one of the sweetest fruits I've ever tasted. It's so unusual how 3 different varieties of dragon fruit have such different sweetness levels to them. And, you know, dragon fruit has been a trending flavor for coffee companies like Starbucks, who does this pink drink and a tea refresher using dragon fruit, or that frozen Yogurtland, who uses dragon fruit as one of the flavors. So it's become such a trendy fruit beyond its wonderful artistic looking fruit as it is.
That's awesome. For presentation, it's fantastic. But you're talking about fruit being, you know, in cubes and things like that. Let's talk about the magic berries, because we haven't played with the berry cubes. Have you done that yet, Linda?
No, not yet.
I want to know.
Yeah.
This is something I'm going, okay, we're waiting for Robert before we open that package and start playing with, it's the miracle, I call them the magic berries, the miracle berries. Tell us about them.
Okay, so about 8 years ago, we introduced fresh miracle berries into the United States for the first time. This is one of the most bizarre produce items that has ever grown. Okay. So we introduced them 8 years ago. They were highly perishable and had a very small shelf life, and then they were very expensive. And so we tried it out for a few months. It was hard to understand, because I'm going to tell you the whole backstory of this miracle berry before I get to this new product. So the miracle berry is a fruit that is native to the continent of Africa. And in Africa, there are a lot of countries that have very extreme weather. They have a monsoon rainy season, and then they have a very long hot spell, especially during the spring, summer, and early fall months before the monsoon returns, or when the monsoon begins more towards the end of the summer going into fall. However, so it's a very, it goes from flooded lands to like desert. Most people, when they think of the continent of Africa, they think a lot of desert. So the food chain there and growing, especially like fruits, is very small and proportional to how blessed we are in all of our different microclimates here in the United States, where, especially in California and in most of the Sun Belt states, you can grow just about anything. Well, in Africa, the trees, a lot of the predominant trees are citrus trees. So a lot of grapefruit, oranges, lemons, limes, all these different citrus. But the thing is that the citrus, only as anywhere else, only becomes available for a short amount of time when the fruit is actually ripe. And the fruit sits on there for, 6, 7, 8, 9 months before it ripens up, correct? Now, there are bushes of these miracle berries that grow throughout the continent of Africa. And so somehow someone figured out, you eat a miracle berry, it neutralizes your palate. So anything you eat that is unripened and sour will actually turn sweet. So a lot of people in Africa eat these little red berries, neutralizes their palate, and they can pick a green grapefruit that is like 4 or 5, 6 months before becoming completely ripe, and it would taste to them like a sweet orange. Now, moving forward, this new product that we have is a concentrated cube form of the miracle berry. It's made of miracle berry, but it's crunchy like a dry fruit. So when you open up the package of miracle berry, and it has a really good shelf life. In fact, it's shelf stable. So think of it like a dried fruit in a concentrated form. You eat the miracle berry. After you finish eating the miracle berry, within minutes, anything you eat, a lemon, a lime, pick a grapefruit and orange that is green in your backyard. If you're growing a citrus tree in your backyard, or maybe a green mango if you're growing any type of fruit in your backyard, it will make that fruit taste sweet. And here's a warning: it's going to affect your palate for at least 20 minutes, but maybe in some cases it can last an hour. So I do not recommend eating a miracle berry before going to a fine dining experience, because it will make your wine that you drink taste like
cherry wine.
Water.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's amazing. What I think is really good about this is strawberries. I know Valentine's Day and everything is past, and I was going, people go get these chocolate dipped strawberries, and you go, ooh, this is, because they look visually exciting. We all have that memory of strawberries, and you bite into them, and then you're like, dude, they suck. They're sour. So I think because strawberries, I don't know what goes on in the produce world with strawberries, but a lot of times you buy strawberries and you have to soak them in sugar water. And so I think this is a good thing to counter the bitter strawberry thing that happens at times.
Well, there are a couple unblessed months during the year that strawberries aren't super sweet and delicious. A lot of times, especially during the winter months, because strawberries are typically grown out on fields, whether it's in California or in Florida. You know, they get the whitish color. They're not
Yeah.
super sweet. Yes, definitely. Now you're thinking, now you're making me think that if you want to get your kids to eat more fruit, have them have a Miracle Berry cube, and any fruit you give them is going to be super sweet.
But it's like a
So I think
science
we're onto
experiment.
something here.
I think
But
it's
I would-
fun.
I would say this is the most unusual fruit item or produce item that has ever existed. And you go to melissas.com, order these Miracle Berry cubes, and just have fun with it.
I love this. I think this could change everything, Diva Linda.
Well, I'm thinking, I wonder what would happen if you put it in a fruit salad. If you put a few in a fruit salad.
Yeah, because sometimes you get that with watermelon too, where it's you know what I mean?
Just isn't
Yes.
quite there. Yeah, it's just not quite there. What about Japanese strawberries? I had those and those were wonderful. They taste better to me when they're cold, very cold. And we've been having those for the last couple days and they are really nice. Where do those come from? What's their origin?
Okay, you're talking about the Japanese strawberries, one of our newest items. We test marketed them last year and proved very successful. You're not going to find them at every store. They're kind of rare, but we've been distributing them into some really hard to find, really high-end retailers, because there's one thing about the Japanese strawberries. They're extremely expensive. The package is an overwrap package, kind of like a half open carton egg. And there's about 9 to 12 berries. They're each pretty large, about the size of a walnut or bigger. And there's 3 different colors. You can get them in red, brick red, you can get them in white, and you can get them in pink, or you can find them in a mix of colors. They look, each and every single one of them looks completely fake. You've never seen strawberries so beautiful and strawberries that taste so good. They're extremely expensive. They have a great tasting experience, but that package at your stores, we had a lot of them in January, and especially in February, leading up to Valentine's Day, and we will have them for about another month. They retail 12 strawberries. They cost about $24, $25 for that package.
This is Diva
So we're talking some
here.
really high-end strawberries here.
She goes for the Diva strawberries. She can't
Oh,
just do any.
And they were good. They were really good. And you're right, the coloration of them, especially because the packs that I got a few of each color. Really exciting. You think, oh, I better get the red one, but the red, because that's going to be the most ripe. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. They're beautiful. They crunch nicely. They're not a crunch, but a munch. It's really nice. I did some just on a plate so people could pick them up. Everybody loved them. And then I did I put some sugar on them so we could have a strawberry shortcake. And those were the strawberries. And that was a huge hit, major hit. But $24, that's, I'm assuming that as these get more popular, etc., that the price will come down. But for our first taste, I'd do it. I'd tell everybody, try them. It's really, I know, sort of exciting to be on the open edge of new stuff. Where do they come from? Where do we source those
They
from?
do come from Japan. So
Oh.
we do fly them in, we import them into this country. And that's not the only fruit that we bring in from Japan. Japan is really known for their produce. They tend to like to buy the most expensive stuff from the United States. And the stuff coming from Japan, it's hothouse grown, is extremely expensive. In fact, we're the company that also brings in those Japanese crown melons. They are, they may look like a, they may look like a honeydew and a cantaloupe where they cut green. Those crown melons, as you'll see on our website, are about $120 each. Now, there's something to say about these really expensive high-end produce items. You get what you pay for. First of all, these crown melons, they're grown hothouse. They take a lot of special care in the produce and how it's grown to get the most perfect experience with these fruits. First of all, when they grow melons, if you ever grown melons before, many grow on a vine. What they do in Japan when growing these crown melons is they deplete the plant, but of only one fruit. So all the flavor and energy goes into this fruit.
Wow.
They're basically hand grown. But in Japan, there's a lot of, not only in produce, but in food, there's a lot of symbolism behind it. So fruit is given as gifts to families and friends and neighbors in Japan. So it comes with a big price tag too, because one, they're rare. Two, you can't find it in every store. And three, they're imported all the way from Japan, where they have this only growing technique. So again, those $120 melons you can find online or at some of your really high-end retailers, and you're going to pay over $120 for a melon about the size of a cantaloupe. And they're absolutely the best melon you've ever tasted.
This is interesting because if you think about the Japanese culture, I mean, you look at, it's a very Zen way of life, really. I mean, look at Zen gardens, look at, Japanese gardens. Linda, you and I love that, tea and that tranquility. There's a lot of attention to detail and respect for what you're growing. Even, if you look at bonsai, there's something, they really, it's an amazing culture with a lot of attention. I think it's beautiful. Speaking about especially produce, what about Japanese eggplant? I wanted to know if you guys do that. Do you specialize in that? Because last fall I learned all about gardening and harvesting this eggplant, and it was pretty amazing how resilient it was, and how it's so neat because it's so long and thin. And
yes,
and once it starts going, I mean, if you're growing it, it can go pretty crazy. And it just, if you're going to cook it, you could even just cut little round. It was just a whole different thing. So do you do a lot of that as well?
Yes, Melissa is known for a whole line of Asian fruits and vegetables. The Japanese eggplant is one of the more popular varieties of eggplant that we happen to do. In fact, in my trends report here for 2023, it's the Chinese eggplant that are becoming very trendy and very popular. Now, the Chinese eggplant and the Japanese eggplant, by the common eye, they look exactly the same. The only difference, how you know the difference between a Chinese eggplant and Japanese eggplant, is the leaf on top. It's called the calyx. It's the leaf that grows over the fruit, which is unique to its fruit. There's only a few other fruits that actually have a calyx to it, like a persimmon. Believe it or not, eggplant are actually in the fruit family, but we're not going to go into that. It has seeds and everything like that, but it's used as a vegetable. Now, the popularity of Chinese eggplant and Japanese eggplant is because they're small and long. They're about the size of a little bit bigger than a large pickle. The neat thing is that it has a shorter cooking time. The skin is completely edible. Unlike your typical globe eggplant, which is big, it has a leathery skin that you would want to remove before you eat. But the thing is that just like baby potatoes, shorter cooking time, sweeter flavor, easy to cook, and hence very popular and trending for 2023. So now you know the next time you go into the produce department, now you know the difference between a Chinese eggplant and a Japanese eggplant by the color of its calyx. The Chinese eggplant has a green calyx, and the Japanese eggplant has a purple calyx.
I know about those purple calyxes. I know about egg. It's a nightshade plant, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, It's a nightshade, and if you're listen, buying it in the produce department is far easier than harvesting. And because that eggplant attacked me every time I went in, I'm like, listen, Melissa's has got to be delivering this where you don't have to be attacked. So I'm glad you do this. But the other thing too is with the big globe eggplant, there's a lot of moisture that you're dealing with too, especially if you're going to use it for like lasagna and stuff like that. So with the thinner ones, you don't have that as much of a problem.
Correct. The globe eggplant, though, large for size, and it has a longer cooking time, but there's a lot of hydration in those. It's the chefs that are using the smaller varieties that have become making it so much popular because of how much easier it is to cook with, to use. You don't have to skin. Many of those like eggplant parmesan, they don't use the globe eggplant. They're using a lot of the Asian varieties, whether it's the Japanese, the Chinese, or even the Thai, which are the green tomato looking like eggplants that just cook better. Eggplant is if you're not making baba ganoush, it's very messy, so that's what the chef's secret's always been, is using the smaller varieties that cook more consistently and easier in the kitchen.
Yeah. Can we talk about guava paste? Because I think this is something when we're looking at spring and summer, right? We love our champagne brunch. And I think this is a very good way to enjoy some light pastries with a little light guava. I feel like champagne needs to be served right now. But I feel like this could be used for some of the breakfast pastries instead of the typical jams and jelly preserves.
Yes, our guava paste is one of our newest products, just recently introduced in the last few months there. And we'll see it trending for 2023. Now, Melissa's is known for fresh guava. We have been offering fresh guava here in the United States on a year-round basis, and it's grown globally. So it's a very much a cross-cultural fruit, probably a little bit more misunderstood here in the United States, but because of the Hispanic and Asian markets and that culture has really been introducing guava more and more into the United States. But one of the big trends in cooking and culinary are charcuterie boards. And one of the components on a charcuterie board, beyond meats and cheeses, fruits and vegetables, are dry fruits and chutneys and jams like fig. But guava is an extremely popular charcuterie trendy item. So we just took the product and made it just that much easier. In fact, you'll find the guava paste in your produce departments, probably close or next to your fresh guavas. The guava paste, all you have to do, it's in a bar. It's already peeled and processed and ready to go. All you have to do is put it into little cubes and put little toothpicks on it and automatically make a unique and elegant addition to your charcuterie board that is so popular in American kitchens for parties, birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays.
And there's such a good flavor. Guava's not overpowering. It's got that nice balance. I mean, we used to drink guava juice. That was a norm. So this is like a homecoming of flavor for me. Like, honestly, we got ginger, we got the guava, this is exciting. You've got I'm still the miracle berries, to me is another really big deal that we should all talk about a little bit more down the road, because I just think that could change a whole bunch of, especially for kids like you're saying. But the other one is the chayote squash. And I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but I remember our last conversation, I was trying to describe these to you, and I think I butchered as I was trying to explain it. I couldn't remember the name, but now here they are. And so, let's talk about what these are, because apparently what I did with them when I first bought them was not what you do with them.
Okay. Yes, the chayote squash. It's number 8 on our top specialty items in the United States. The chayote squash, there's two major markets that use these as a common product at home, and that is Hispanics. The chayote squash is used kind of like what you would call the, like the zucchini or, a soft squash to someone who's Italian, or, zucchini is very popular in the United States there. It's extremely firm. It's crunchy. It's typically always cooked. But the other market that's very popular, especially in the Southeast, because it's very Creole, it's very Louisiana, it's used in Creole dishes like gumbo and chayote. So anybody in New Orleans knows what chayote squash. It actually goes by multiple names, Merlaton or Christophine. It is used like a squash in a lot of Cajun and gumbo-like dishes. So you're talking about two markets that use chayote squash regularly in the kitchen to both of those cultures there.
Oh man, I'm gonna go get some
andouille.
andouille.
Item.
I'm gonna get some andouille sausage. I've got my Zatarain's. I love our Zatarain's. Gotta have that. I'm gonna go get some andouille sausage. Got some onion. I'm going. I'm gonna start. That's what I'm doing with it. I am. Have you worked with it yet, Linda?
No, not yet. It's I'm looking at it, and the interesting thing about Melissa's is whatever it is that they have to offer, you can go on their website and find a recipe.
I love that.
Recipes. I was looking at the bok choy, the baby bok choy, which is so cute, and wondering, just what I could do with it. And sure enough, 4 or 5 recipes that easy. They're easy. You can do all of them. They're a chef created or curated or created recipes, but they're doable on every level. I hope that in my article that we can include a recipe of one of the things that we've talked about. Maybe Melissa, maybe Robert can. Do you think we have room?
Sure, we always have room for. Yeah, people love our recipes in there, and so yeah, absolutely. I think surprise us.
Robert can send us, just surprise us. I mean, there's so many wonderful things. I mean, that it is so nice that you can go on their website and they have photos of everything, explains what it is, how much it is. You can have baskets sent to you or individual items, whatever it is you want. And it's just, it's just wonderful. I really hope that everybody listening has the opportunity to have like what I had behind me in the cold case near the salads, where you just sort of run along and get all the great ingredients. And how many states are you in? Do you know? Is that a hard question? Is about
found in all 50 states and Canada as well. Believe it or not, we do distribute actually into Hawaii and Alaska. We are the largest variety produce supplier in the United States. We do business with the top 20 retailers in the store. If you can't find at your local produce department, ask your produce managers for any of these ingredients that we've been talking about today, because I'm sure a couple of them in particular have been really intriguing there. You also are able to find some of our products in local sporting venues across the country. We're known for our distribution of produce into like all the stadiums, from Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, SoFi Stadium, the Rams and the Chargers, to all the way to New York Yankee Stadium, Met Stadium, DC Nationals, the 76ers and Flyers in Philly, and also even the Dallas Cowboys as well. And we distribute our high-end produce to give that consumer a high-end flavor, a chef restaurant experience. And we're always about education. So you go onto our website and you'll find at least 3 to 6 recipes for any ingredient in every produce items that we carry there. And plus all the other information, like you mentioned, Linda, thank you, how to store it, how you know when it's ripe, because maybe you don't know when it is ripe. And that's the one thing people are scared about, is buying a new fruit or vegetable when they go to the local produce department and not know what to do with it. So Melissa's is all about education so you know what to do with it, because maybe you've heard about it or seen it on a TV Food Network or in a cookbook and was afraid. We try to make it really easy. You can even go onto our YouTube page at Melissa's Produce is our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you even see videos on how to work with many of these exciting fruits and vegetables that the average American might not be familiar with at this
I think
point.
it's exciting. And it's important to have that information, especially if you're buying like the crown melon, things like that.
See that one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up when to buy that one before I buy it. You know what I mean? But I think it's exciting, and I think people are really working towards getting healthy. And I think your snacks. I mean, like, I know last year we had the clean snacks, and then like the chickpeas, like really addictive, but healthier than here's your bag of things that are naughty for you, but these are a lot healthier. And being on the road, I see Melissa's every community grocery store that I go into. I don't think, I mean, I've even seen you guys in Walmart with potatoes and some of the basics in there, and I go, yay, elevate that. So it's cool to see. I don't think there's been any. Well, if I do, I'm going to knock on their door and say, dudes, you need to level up here and get some Melissa's in here, because I think I have found Melissa's products every. I mean, I know that we've been to on our tour over the last 4 years, just over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been to at least, I think we're missing about 8 states out of the country. And so that's a lot of grocery stores. And to have snacks for the massive drives that we do, at times we drive across the country on crazy trips and go out and hike in parks, and to have snacks that are healthier for you means a lot. And easy things to cook like this. We travel, we pet sit, and sometimes in a hotel. You want things really quick and easy without having to buy the entire farm. Like the beets. I don't want to go in someone's house and murder a baby. I want to go here. I want to keep it nice and clean. You know what I mean? And so I think that is something really, not just for travelers, but there are people like me who travel, and there's tons of digital nomads and travel writers that want something that look at everybody going and staying in Airbnbs and VRBOs or whatever you want to call them. These vacation rentals, you want to be able to just go get something for that weekend. You don't want to buy for, like you're going to Costco. So I think that's a huge market that you have, because you want to have a nice dinner. If you've got a nice vacation rental, you can have dinner under the stars in Joshua Tree, for example. You want to be able to make something nice, so it's awesome what you guys are doing. So melissas.com is the site, right? Well, I'm going to go eat my chickpeas now, but the problem is, I don't have any left.
Yeah, mine are gone too. Yeah.
I know.
Gone.
They're
I hope
good.
to see those in the market soon, because those are really.
They're not on the
just
market?
crunchy. Well, I hadn't seen them yet. I was looking for them.
Don't make me cry.
Okay, so you ladies are talking about the chickpea snacks. The chickpea snacks is a newer product to Melissa's. There's 2 different varieties. There's a garlic and there's a spicy chickpea snack.
I like that one too. I know.
Now, we're the company that introduced clean snacks to the United States. These are little cube granolas, the only granola you'll find in the produce department. Go to that area and you're going to find the chickpea snacks in both flavors on the rack. They're a healthy snack. Yes, they are dried chickpea, which are basically like a dried garbanzo bean that, so when they're dried, they're not hard as a rock. They are firm, but they're more like between a peanut and a corn nut in texture, and they have the flavor. So if you're a big fan of hummus and garbanzo beans, you'll love these chickpea snacks that you'll find at your local produce department. If not now, soon, or ask for it by name, Melissa's Produce chickpea snacks, when you go to your produce department next time around.
Oh my gosh, they are so good. And the garlic chunks in there, the dried garlic in there. Seriously, when are you going to just box the garlic up? I'm not kidding. I'm serious. Like whenever Nancy makes like the roast potatoes, I'm like, I want like, but don't skimp on the garlic. Bring it, bring it.
I agree.
I'm weird about it. So do you think you'd ever do like garlic snacks? People would probably, maybe I'm trying to get rid of some devils. I don't know people who do that. You
I
had
know.
garlic soup though when you were in the Czech Republic.
Yes,
Remember
I
that,
did.
Eva
As a matter
Linda?
of fact, yeah. I love garlic. I don't care what you put it in. I like it. You put it in
Listen.
bananas and I would like it. Yeah.
Diva Linda and I have excellent taste. We
We do.
agree
So
about all these
similar.
things. Yes.
Do you do pickles?
Well, we don't do like jarred pickles that you would
Yeah,
find per
yeah,
se,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we do a whole line of cucumbers that you can turn
Right.
into pickles. We do the Kirby's, which are pickling cucumbers. Those are the ones that are most popular to pickle. And we sell them pretty much year round, so you can pickle at any time. We do the common cucumber. We do the Kiwano melon that I was telling you back makes a killer pickle. We do the Persians, which are the mini cucumbers.
Yes,
Those
I
pickle
love
really
those.
fast because they have a really thin skin that's completely edible, even when raw. So we do the whole line of cucumbers. We also, if you go onto melissas.com, we do pickling spice. So all you have to do is buy your favorite cucumber, get the pickling spice, and bam, that product's extremely popular towards the end of summertime when the cucumbers are extremely popular and readily available, and when most people like to do pickling towards the end of summer, right before fall. So look for that on melissas.com as well, pickling spice.
Ooh.
Wow.
Uh-oh. That's dangerous.
I just want to remind everybody that I have an article that complements what we've done today. So if you've forgotten the names of anything or what we talked about, it'll all be in the article, which will be up soon,
Yes.
I assume.
Yeah, it's up
And-
now, up right now. So
Up now,
you just go to
up now.
blendradioandtv.com and see it in the
Mhm,
upcoming
yeah.
issue of Eat, Drink, and Be Merry magazine as well. So
Lovely.
because we like to eat, drink, and be merry, and when it's healthier like
We
this,
do.
it's even better. But I love all these spices. Chickpeas are really good when you're having margaritas and cocktails. So
They are.
they are very
agree.
good.
I agree. Much better
And-
than peanuts and corn nuts. Yeah. Oh,
And if
yeah.
you're and if you're gonna do mocktails, I suggest up it up a notch and couple notches. Get some dragon fruit, something nice and pretty.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
and quite frankly, if you're gonna do cocktails too, specialty
Yeah.
cocktails, there's something so and I'm not talking
Yeah.
about the little frilly umbrella-y stuff. Use the fruit as the umbrella. I want nice embellishments that you can eat. All right. So thank you so much, Robert. It's been a pleasure having you back on the show. The only thing is that I'm hungry now. So, and I need more chickpea snacks. So I am.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
I volunteer you send mine, but mine are gone. Oh, well.
See,
Yep.
next time we
Yep.
just call each other and have a chickpea off.
That
That did not sound good.
Well, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Thank you,
Well,
Robert.
thank you, ladies, for having me on today.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I always look forward to when you do these trends for the year and what was hot last year, what's hot this year. It's really for a foodie, it's just amazing. It's just an amazing thing to see and what you think is going to trend. So it's a good article, I think, that matches what we've done today. You can find out more about Melissa's by, of course, going to their website, which once you go on, you'll be hooked. There's just like no doubt about it. And Robert's going to send a recipe, so I hope we can put that up too, because you can get a sample of just how wonderful this website is with its recipes. And are these things, are the recipes created by Chef Frank?
Our whole team of chefs on staff. We have 4 chefs on staff. Chef Tom is our lead.
That's the one.
He among our whole family of chefs here. That's all they do. They have a test kitchen and they just crank out new recipes and exciting, trendy recipes that you would find at your restaurants, and create excitement on our website with these recipes.
Can you
Awesome.
believe it? Yeah. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Everyone, go to blendradioandtv.com. Of course, Steve and Linda's here every first Saturday. Keep up with her at allingoodtaste.info. And of course, at bigblendradio.com. Thank you so much.